Fidelity.
That was Michael Gover's voice, I heard. The voice of Big Red.
Elliot Electric's up. Yes.
It's easy for me to remember what to do. You two guys. The world Ben's wearing sandals? I didn't know we could do that. He's got sandals and shorts.
Put us on the mic.
I need to scoop a chair. How about this? Right there, Jim. I just gave you extra 2 feet, buddy.
Hey,
They down.
Gardner, good job. He did it, man. He pushed the power button on both.
excellent job.
Whoa,
great.
hey.
Yeah, that's
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
We're going to wear pants this year? We wear pants this year? I'm not being judgmental.
I've got with the Panther head. That head.
Yeah. That's a good looking
Yeah, I like
hat.
it.
Was that special made? Did you have that
No,
made?
I got it at Sports Top. I do like the fact that we can't see the monitor,
Yeah.
and so it doesn't distract you. You got to look right
Yeah.
there. I like that. It's going to look better.
I agree. I like it.
We'll
We're getting
struggle a little bit.
What I like is this.
It's
the air
singing.
conditioning unit.
We may have to post some stuff all up here during the season.
Let's hang a marker board.
Yeah.
Need a computer monitor with stats on it. Let me know 'cause I can't see. Well, you can hear the drum chord, you can see the Pep Steppers making their way onto the field. The Panthers are about to come out of the indoor complex. Guys, a long off season is over. It is football time in Benton.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's an exciting evening. A lot of fans here. You can hear the drums, the band playing, all the spirit groups. Nowhere else I'd rather be on a Friday night in mid-August on actually a pretty cool August 10th, Terry Benham.
Like the football gods opened up and gave us great football weather, right?
No doubt about it.
Little scrimmage tonight. I'm excited.
Seems like summer takes forever to get to football season.
It does.
And this year, we're a week sooner with the advent of 0 week, the Salt Bowl, the Saturday before Labor Day. Our wait hadn't been quite as long, Terry.
Well, it hasn't, but you know, there's big expectations this year for the Panther football team, and it's just great that the level of expectations for this program has risen to the point that if you're not practicing on Thanksgiving week, it's almost a letdown, guys.
Absolutely, absolutely.
John, I had opportunity to trade some text messages today with Chad Hooten of Hooten's Arkansas Football, the premier across the nation high school publication. Chad Hooten said, on paper, this is the best Benton team since 2014.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of the season that we had a couple years ago when Russellville won the state championship. You know, nobody was talking about Russellville except for kind of those guys up in the football guys, right? The Hootens and all. And they said, look, we think Russellville's like maybe the third best team in the state. We think they're a surprise team and a contender. Well, that's kind of the thoughts on Benton this year.
That's right. Well, it all starts with that huge line of scrimmage that we've got. You know, when you look at the Panthers down on the field, I mean, they look like a college team. You averaging about 300 pounds across the front, John. I know you love the guys in the trenches, and I mean, you've got an all-star cast on this season.
And Zach Wallace running behind them, and a pair of very dynamic dual threat quarterbacks.
Receiver. Defensively, it looks like the total package this year for Benton. I think the big question mark is which quarterback's going to step up. You've got Colin Morrow, who went down in week 4 last year, recovering from an ACL. He's had a great offseason. And then Peyton Hutchins, who was hurt as well, starting as a sophomore, John.
Yeah, and if we ever have to go 3 deep, we've got a pretty good sophomore round. And I'm really impressed with what I've seen out of that player, and boy, it just tells you about the Benton quarterbacks this week. You got one come through. Saw Dio Vanucci. We saw Gianni Vanucci out there tonight, and it's just like every grade, you know, we've got that marquee quarterback, and so I really feel like, you know, if we use the 2 quarterback system, or if one gets a little bit ahead, hey, we saw Greenwood have a lot of success with that. Different packages, different QBs. I'm just glad we got 2 really good QBs that we can lean on, and they can kind of work together and challenge each other.
Well, we'll talk about this for the whole season, but you know, the added depth that we have, and certainly what Garrett brings to the table, allows us to get Gavin Wells back where he belongs, right there in that slot. And with the addition of Garrett Body, we've got a deep threat that can open those quarterbacks up and let them really kind of participate more in the game with their arm as much as they do their legs.
As excited as we are about the offense, though, Terry, you came to practice Tuesday night when the Panthers practiced under the lights, and you told me it was the defense that really grabbed your attention.
You know, they really stood out, and this coaching staff will tell you that the defensive backfield is one of the deepest and one of the nastiest, and that's their term, not mine, defensive backfields that we've had in a very, very long time. Really good playmakers and a lot of depth on that defensive backfield, and that's before we even get to the next level up, which is the linebackers. And you've got Kyvan Carroll, a D1 signee, going to play for Fresno State next year. And then, of course, the defensive line depth, starting with Ty Nethery, who's just a beast on that defensive end.
That's a big, strong, athletic guys up there on that front defensive line.
Yeah, Dylan Ferguson missed a lot of last year due to injury, and
big
boy,
addition.
John, he is going to be about 6'4" now. Dylan's really grown up over the summer. The 2 bookends on those ends. I know that's a spot you really like to key in on.
And they can both play. You know, it's one thing to have a big guy on the end, but it's a total another thing if they can play. So I think this defense has got an enormous amount of talent, athleticism, strength, speed. It's got everything. The only question for them is, and I think this question's on the offense too, are we going to have leadership? Who's going to step up? Who's going to lead? Who's going to be the emotional leader of the team? I'm looking at guys like Colin Morrow on offense, Kyvan Carroll on defense. There's some others out there.
Cameron
but look,
Ross.
Cameron Ross is another one. So I think we've got the guys there. I think the leadership is going to be there. It's just a matter of kind of bringing it all together now. Yeah. And I think with the character of the players we have, they're going to be able to do that.
Terry, you mentioned Cameron Ross. I know you can't wait to see him back there at free safety this year.
He is a really, really good football player. He's got a lot of football smarts, gets himself in the right position, but, you know, he plays that free safety like a linebacker, and that's what you want.
Last year, the Panthers bowed out in the quarterfinals of the state playoffs on a windy, cool night in West Memphis. And we sort of bemoaned the fact last year with the injuries. It just seemed like one of those years where we were snake bit. But that translates into a lot of guys who were young last year that got game experience that should pay off this year, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And we briefly mentioned this in the spring game, but, you know, 2014, 2016, those even-numbered years, not very many injuries, a lot of success, Final Four, big wins on the road and championship games. And then 13, 15, 17, those are our injury years. So I'm hoping, not that I ever want to have any more injury years, but I'm hoping that that'll keep up for just one more year. 2018 will be an injury-free year with some big wins.
Yeah, and John, you know, 14 really started a lot of things.
It did.
And one of the things, you know, we talk and even kid about this a lot, that winning solves everything. Well, that 2014 team going to the state championship, followed by some other really good teams that won a lot of football games.
That's right.
Now we've got 100 kids on the roster. And so when you have depth like that, you know, like T-Shane Pagay, who's really coming on in practice, junior, who can now step up and fill a role in the middle of that defensive line, gives some depth there so that if you do have that injury, you've got guys that can step up and make plays.
That's a good point, Terry. I heard Barry Groom speak this week at Rotary, and he said across the state numbers are down in football participation.
Yeah.
In Northwest Arkansas, they're down. In the Delta, they're down. You're going to see an increase in 8-man football as schools begin to lose numbers.
Wow.
That's not the case at Benton High School.
No, it's not.
102 dressed out tonight, the largest team Benton's ever fielded.
Yeah, and you've got to look at the administration, the school board. You really have to look at the coaching staff and a lot of alumni and boosters and supporters, the touchdown club. I mean, we have a community right now that really works together as opposed to these warring factions where everyone struggles for power and control. But you really feel like our community is together and they're behind this football program. They support them. Look at the people that are out here tonight. Look at the sponsors that we have for our broadcast. The support for Benton Panther football, Terry, is more than I can remember it being in a very long time.
Well, that's absolutely, but it all starts at the very beginning, and you use the right word. It's a program.
You bet.
It's not a football team anymore. It's a football program, and it starts down at the young levels and goes all the way, and we're just lucky to be a part of it.
That's right.
Well, we're lucky to have Tony Linehan of the Saline Cougar pop into the booth with us. Our right-hand man every Friday night is back with us again this year. We're going to be excited to have Tony Stowers back with us at Salt Bowl. Tony's going to come up and be in the booth with us on Salt Bowl night. So going to be a reunion in the booth, and John is working on some special halftime guests for the Salt Bowl broadcast. Can't wait for that as we get the Maroon Gray game underway, and it is the Gray team with the football first as the handoff goes to DeAnthony Harper, and look at DeAnthony go right out of the chute. He's over the 50-yard line into Maroon territory at the 47, and that's a good run for DeAnthony Harper to start the scrimmage.
Yeah, no shock there. If you look at him, Jim, just in his pads, he's bigger, he's stronger, and I think he's maybe got a little faster during this offseason.
Peyton Hudgens is the quarterback, Braxton Slaughter the H-back. Hudgens going to throw, and it's through the hands of John Miller. He couldn't pull it in, and one of our favorite guys on special teams last year, Carter Hutchinson, in coverage for the Maroon.
Well, I think Carter Hutchinson's really going to play a critical role in this defense this year, filling some of that depth that we need at defensive back.
So it's 2nd and 10 Gray. Ball at the Maroon 47-yard line. 20-minute half with a continuously running clock in this one. And there goes D-Buddy again. He's outside at the 30, 20. Carter Hutchinson's going to rat him out of bounds at the 6-yard line. And DeAnthony Harper goes for 41 yards, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Gray.
Boy, John, when he gets to that second level, he moves so well from side to side. He gets to that one guy, and he makes him miss. It's trouble.
And there aren't too many guys that he's not going to make miss with a move like that.
Empty gun, 5-receiver set in the red zone for the Gray as Hudgens takes the snap, looking for someone to get it to. Zach Parker in coverage, and the pass and the catch for a touchdown. That's Michael Lunsford, the senior in the back of the end zone that hauls that one in, and it is a touchdown for the Gray.
I ran into Michael Lunsford at Sonic. My daughter's car broke down, and he was there, so he stayed with her till I got there, and he helped me fix her car. Him and Kyvan Carroll and Zach Wallace. So shout out to some senior football players doing some good Samaritan work over the summer. But, boy, I tell you what, when I saw him, I thought, my gosh, who is that kid? I didn't even recognize him, but, boy, he's just a big, strong, athletic kid.
6'5", 175, and a big target in that receiving core for the Gray. Now, we're not going to see any special teams right now. We talked about the offense and defense. You've got a third component of football that's very important, and we saw that last year, guys, in some of the special teams struggles that the Panthers had last year. I really think back to El Dorado and how that ball game turned on a special teams play. So we'll want to keep an eye on the kickers and punters when they work on that later in the scrimmage. It's just offense and defense right now as Maroon will have it for the first time tonight. Colin Morrow is the Maroon quarterback, has Zach Wallace in the backfield with him. Colin dropping back, airing it out deep for Garrett Body, and it's going to be incomplete. And back on coverage for the Gray is Devin Griffin. Boy, that's a good matchup, Devin Griffin and Garrett Body, Terry.
Man, I was about to say that's the matchup of the night right there. Garrett Body, they decided to throw it deep, let him go up and man oh man. And it looked like Devin won that first one.
There was a lot of hand checking going on, I can tell you that.
The move in from Newport, Garrett Body runs a 4-5, a deep threat on the edge for the Panthers as Colin tried to get it to Michael Allison on the skinny post and overthrew him at the 42-yard line, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10 Maroon.
Does this feel like a pretty good tempo we've got going tonight? That was one of the things I really wanted to see, you know. It felt at times last year with all the injuries and everything that we would kind of drag our tempo a little bit, but boy, they're scooting tonight.
The Maroon on 3rd and 10 are going to roll Colin to the left. Morrow throws. Michael Allison in the sideline makes the catch. They're going to mark him just shy of the 40-yard line. It looks like it's going to be 4th and very short for the Maroon.
Zach Wallace just welcomed a new kid to Benton to high school football with a block there that he made. And Zach didn't move from the spot of contact, but the defender did.
4th down and inches, going to give it to Zach Wallace, and Zach is going to be right at the stick, pushed back by the defense. Kyvan Carroll on defense, and boy, we're seeing some good matchups, Terry. Kyvan and Zach going toe-to-toe right there.
Yeah, and I saw the same thing on the previous play, John. That was a great block. And, you know, we talk about Wallace's running skills, but he can really block too.
1st down following the Zach Wallace run. Colin Morrow pressured, and he's going to be sacked as Carroll and Ty Nethery get to him back at the 31-yard line. That's your defensive end and middle linebacker converging on the sack.
We're going to be tough in the middle. There's just no getting around it. So much strength, so much speed. They're going to create a lot of problems for teams, especially teams that have mobile quarterbacks, because they're going to have them on the run all night long, but they got the speed to really push them, Terry.
Kyvan with 5.5 sacks, Ty Nethery with 4.5 last year. They combined on that one as Garrett Body gets it on the reverse. Body is going to get back past the original line of scrimmage. They're going to mark him out at the 43-yard line. See a little burst there, Terry, when Body got the edge.
Yeah, he gets the edge, and he's got the speed there on the outside, but also a good job by the defense containing it and stringing that play out so that they could use the sidelines.
I believe that was Terry Jones across the way. John, you didn't bring the binoculars.
Was that Dylan
tonight.
Burnham, 14?
14, the free safety. Jones, the corner over there. There's a throw to Michael Allison, picked off by Devin Griffin. And boy, did Devin break on that ball beautifully and come up with the interception. And it'll give the Gray the football at the Maroon 48.
We've got a pair of corners that I've watched play football together on the same team since they were in 4th grade, and that's Griffin and Caffrey. Two guys who know each other very well and that have played football together for a very long time. And I tell you what, they are bookmark corners and they are shutdown corners. And, you know, you hear a lot of talk about Caffrey. Griffin's been the one that's really made the strides, Jim, in this offseason.
Yeah, and I think Devin was set up for a good year last year. Broke that collarbone against Parkview and really cut into his season. But, boy, what a break on the football that time for Devin Griffin. Is the Gray with the ball now as Hudgens is going to float one out to Braxton Slaughter. Braxton with the catch, fumbles it out of bounds. Bobby Wynn's calling for an incompletion, and it looks like he talked the referee on the sideline into it.
How about number 35 in the backfield on every single play, Jim? Takes you back a few years.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Mr.
the
Desort.
the 6A South Defensive Player of the Year, Terry Benton. Tim Desort spent the entire night, every Friday night in the backfield, and that's what we're seeing tonight out of number 35. Of course, we know him. He's the 4th string quarterback, Zach Parker.
Now we just need to see Zach take a handoff. As DeAnthony Harper takes a handoff, fumbles the football up in the air, and it looked like a pile of Maroon jerseys got to that one, and it's going to be a turnover. And how about Zach Parker coming up with the fumble recovery for the Maroon?
Just talking about him, and boy, he's really making a case for himself tonight that he's ready to be one of those senior leaders on this team. Great kid, can do a lot of things, a very versatile athlete, and I think you're going to see him a lot on the field this week, this year.
210-pound senior, pressed into duty as the JV quarterback last year due to injuries. Natural position linebacker, and he comes up with the fumble recovery on that play. Gives it to the Maroon at the Maroon 43-yard line. We've got 11:40 to go in the first half. The Gray leads it 7-0. Colin Morrow takes the snap, hands it off to Zach Wallace, and Zach carrying Gray tacklers near a first down at the Gray 47.
Boy, you just can't help but get excited when you see Zach Wallace hit the hole like that. 3 guys wrap him up, and he drags them 3 yards. I mean, that's the kind of third down back that you want.
Absolutely.
Running behind Joshua George and Tristan Red. Boy, so good to see him out there after that broken leg he suffered at Siloam last year. Playing at left guard as they tried to get a quick screen out to Garrett Body. Couldn't pull it in. It'll be 2nd and 10 Maroon.
I wonder what the first safety is going to think that comes out to man up Kyrie Watkins.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this a trick play? Until he tries to cover it.
You know, I watched him Tuesday night.
What
and
an
he's really
athlete.
got some great hands, too.
Had
Amazing.
a great game in the Benton Bryant Junior High game last year. As Morrow rolls to his left. The comeback to Michael Allison can't pull it in. Terry Jones in coverage over there, and that's a young man who is a standout in track, battling for time at a cornerback position. Made a great play that time, John.
Yeah, and did I see Cade Clark at one of the corner positions earlier?
Cade has moved to defense. He sure has over the summer.
A good all-purpose athlete. They're going to find a way to get him on the field. You'll probably see him a lot on special teams for sure. And
Braden Hendricks has moved over to defense as well. As Colin Morrow throws Trevor Standridge, the sophomore. Look at him go! 10-5 touchdown, Trevor Standridge. And boy, shades of ninth grade football last year. Give him a little space. Trevor takes it to the house.
All night long. You give him the ball, he's gone. Absolutely gone. You know, you're talking about Braden Hendricks being on the defense, Jim. If you remember, as a ninth grader, he was kind of the do-everything guy. and he was an outstanding offensive player. He was a really good defensive player too at that outside linebacker position, and so I think he can do a lot of good on that in that spot.
As the Maroon does kick the extra point, Jose Simone with the extra point through, and it's 7-7 with 9 minutes to go in the first half. And Terry, you got to like that, seeing that little sophomore get in there and make his presence known with a big play, Trevor Standridge.
Yeah, you know, he's a good sprinter too. And you obviously saw that he can sprint in pads, but he's a good track athlete as well. And, you know, he reminds you a lot of Gavin Wells, and having a couple of guys like that really gives you some depth in the slot.
Haven't called Gavin Wells' name for the Gray offense yet. See if Peyton tries to get it to Gavin right here. Look at this. Tried to get the screen to Gavin Wells, and the Maroon defense was waiting on it. As Sean Thornton makes a good play to knock that one away incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Well, Sean Thornton's somebody, John, that we're going to call his name a lot this year. He's really a key part of this whole offense.
We knew that when he was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Thornton, a 5'10", 195-pound junior linebacker. 2nd down and 10 for the Gray at their own 30-yard line as Wells goes in motion. Hudgens going to give it off to DeAnthony Harper. Gets a block from Austin Jones. And Harper is going to pick up 8 yards, and Kelby Caffrey in on the tackle for the Maroon.
Jim, you hear about football factories. Fox Ridge Drive in the Sharon community where I live. I had John Penn at my house. I had Preston Madison next door. I had the Brewers across the street. I got Garrett Brown lives across the street from me now. Sean Thornton lives right down the street. I mean, that place is an absolute football factory.
So they give it off to Harper, and how about Gavin Davis, the sophomore, making his presence known, 5'8", 225-pounder on the tackle for the Maroon defense.
Yeah, it's good to see some depth out there, especially from some of these sophomores, and seeing them get – this is the great opportunity for them to get to play, but it also for them to get in there and actually show some results from that game time. That's even better.
Gavin, the 2nd leading tackler for that junior high defense last year, and he was a guy who was invaluable on offense, especially in the red zone.
You betcha.
Good blocker, tough to tackle, low center of gravity. Made a great tackle that time for the defenses. They'll move the ball back down the field to the 30. Give it back to the Maroon as we're all tied at 7, John.
Yeah, they've got him in number 45. I like how these coaches like to give out. I think they associate players. You remember the last big 45 we had? The name is Shamlin. So it's just funny how they do that.
1st down and 10 for the Maroon. 6:15 to go here in the first half of the Maroon-Gray scrimmage. Standridge in motion leaves Wallace alone in the backfield, and penalty markers fly. I believe we might have had a false start against the Maroon. Will back them up 5. It'll be 1st and 15.
Standridge looked in that time on the sprint out, and you can't do that.
No.
Hayden Ashley going to come to the sideline for the Maroon offensive line, replaced by Big Adam Soul, 6'5", 300 pounds at right tackle. 1st down and 15. It's a low snap. Morrow going to take and throw to Kyrie Watkins. Kyrie unable to hold on to that one as Devin Griffin came up and maybe have got a paw on it as Griffin and Carroll celebrate. The incompletion, it'll be 2nd and 15.
Well covered. The safety, Dylan Burnham, was there too, and I think they saw that one coming, Terry.
Well, they did, but and we've seen 3 legitimate drops, and obviously that's an area we're going to have to fix. But that one is all credit to the defense. They just broke that pass up.
2nd and 15, empty backfield as Morrow looks downfield, gets it to Zach Wallace. Good hands from Zach as he's pushed out of bounds by Braden Hendricks. And not only is Zach a good blocker, not only is he a punishing runner, but as we remember back to the Salt Bowl last year, he's a threat catching the football as well.
No two ways about that.
Showed great hands right there along the sideline. Mark him out at the 33. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Maroon. It's 3 receivers to the wide side, single receiver to the short side of the field. Wallace, the lone back in the backfield, as Morrow looks to the wide side, goes downfield for body and overthrows him, and it'll be 4th down and 7.
Hey, you got to be okay with that throw. It was off the mark, but look, you never throw a long pass short. You never throw a short pass long. The receiver was covered. He threw it where only the receiver could get it, and probably wasn't going to, but he threw the long ball long. So that's a good decision by Morrow.
Yeah, I think so too.
And again, you see the threat of body, though, Terry, stretching the field, the deep threat. You talked about that in our open, and we've seen the Maroon team try to go deep to him a couple of times already.
Well, that's right. But again, just as we were talking in pregame, you know, this is one of the best defensive backfields that we've had in a very, very long time. And so if Garrett Body can't get behind this defense, it's going to be really difficult for other teams to get behind them too.
It's a good point. As the Gray will take it at their own 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 as Peyton Hudgens empties the backfield. Waits the snap. Here comes the pressure. Tried to get the screen back to Gavin Wells. Can't come up with it. Boy, Kelby Caffrey was blanketing Gavin Wells that time.
He has the most amazing closing speed. He is a special player.
He is a special player, and he's so special that the starting quarterback on his team asked about whether or not they'd selected teams, and he went up to the coach and he said, I want Caffrey on my team.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Kelby a 4.59 40 as they give it off to DeAnthony Harper, and D-Buddy's having a great game. There he goes at the 30, at the 20, going to be dragged down from behind by Cade Clark, but DeAnthony Harper with a great first half for the Gray all the way to the Maroon 19.
Yeah, and you see there the value that Cade Clark can bring as a multi-purpose player. You put him on defense right there. He had some wheels. He ran that guy down. You could see him coming. That was a good tackle there by Cade.
Touchdown saving tackle by Cade Clark, 51 yards on the Harper run. And it's 1st down in the red zone for the Gray as they tried to get it to Braxton Slaughter in the seam. Hudgens just overthrows him. Again, Clark coming over in coverage for the Maroon. And it will, or make that Austin Drury that time. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Gray.
It's a good fake. He didn't quite give it the Cason Merton shoulder all the way to the turf fake, but it was a good pump fake. And almost a touchdown pass, so looks pretty sharp tonight.
Lunsford and Wells split to the left. Hudgens looking that way, gets it to Micah Lunsford, and Lunsford with his 2nd touchdown of the first half, and Micah's having a night, and the Maroon yields the touchdown, and it's now Gray 13, Maroon 7.
Oh, we got a nail biter going on here.
Oh, I was telling Jim, you know, we were sitting up here in pregame. I said, you know, as I've gone through and looked at the breakdown of the teams, boy, I'm actually excited to watch this because this is a good match.
It is. Yeah, they did a good job of splitting them up. And, you know, we hate these intra-squad scrimmages because, you know, you want to see us on the same team playing somebody else. But I like this arrangement, I think, better, Jim, than the ones on twos.
I'm with you, and I like it in a game setting rather than let's just go snap it 30 times and call it a night. So good competition tonight between the Panthers as we're in the final minute of the first half. Gray leads at 14-7. We want to let you know that next Friday night we will be up on Highway 10 and bring you the AAA benefit scrimmage. The Panthers will travel to Little Rock Christian to play the Warriors. We'll have the broadcast live on Fidelity Local 6 as Trey Maxwell with the sack of Colin Morrow, ball hit the turf and picking it up and rambling with it. Was that Jensen White?
It sure
Jensen
was.
White.
I'll tell you what, he didn't look that bad. He got the first down.
Give him the ball, Coach.
Scott White, the happiest guy in the stadium. His son got a first down on the Maroon
It may be the
scrimmage.
first time Jensen's ever had a carry, and his first carry was for a first down.
How about Trey Maxwell, though,
Yeah.
Terry, on the sack? I know that's a guy you're real excited about.
Yeah, they talk about him, and they say with a little bit more experience this year, by midseason, they're going to have a hard time blocking him. He's just a great athlete and really can come off the edge.
Dio, are you Mike ready? No Dio yet,
Okay.
according to Matt Johnson. I tell you what, Matt, we're going to have a 5-minute halftime. Let's run some commercials here from some of our outstanding sponsors of Benton Panther football in 2018 on Fidelity Local 6. And we'll come back with the second half of tonight's Maroon Gray Classic from the Palace. This is Benton Panther football on Fidelity Local 6.
Any lasting structure begins with a good blueprint, and every good blueprint must be designed specifically for the people it serves. The Benton Event Center, Riverside Park, and the new Boys and Girls Club, all designed by the professional architects at Black, Corley, Owens, and Hughes. They understand the Benton community and are a major part of our economic success. Proud sponsors of Benton Panther football and valued partners for our community.
Hey Panther fans, looking for a local dentist that cares? Look no further than Bethel Smiles. Benton native and Panther alum Dr. Justin Bethel and his staff are pleased to be back serving the community where it all began. Bethel Smiles is a full-service dental office, treating all ages and proudly offers the lowest cost braces in town. We realize at Bethel Smiles that your time and your teeth are precious, so most procedures can be performed the same day. So save time, save teeth, support local business, and schedule with Bethel Smiles today. Call to schedule your appointment at 501-778-4746. Bethel Smiles is a proud supporter of Benton Athletics.
Jones Heating and Air, located at 520 Edison Avenue in Benton, specializes in residential, commercial, and new construction HVAC systems and offers 24-hour service. Jones is a proud supporter of Benton Panther Athletics, the Saline County Boys and Girls Club, and youth sports at Benton's Riverside Park. Find out more at jonesheatingandair.com or call 501-778-3324.
Farmers Bank & Trust Mortgage provides local expert service. Eric Shelnut will give you a smooth experience with the highest level of service at competitive rates. He can help you with conventional, FHA, USDA, VA, as well as interim construction loans. You can start the application process online at myfarmers.bank in as little as 20 minutes. Farmers Bank & Trust Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. ACDI is Benton proud. We have a long history of community involvement and activism in Benton and the Saline County area. It's why we're excited to be relocating our business here and building our new headquarters in the downtown area. We're proud to sponsor the Benton Touchdown Club. Go Panthers!
Allied Glass is a full-service glass shop located in historic downtown Benton. Allied Glass is a third-generation business and family-owned and operated since 1967. Mirrors, shower doors, commercial storefronts, auto glass repair and replacement, tabletops, screens, plexiglass, and much more. For all your glass needs, call Allied Glass at 501-778-6244, located at 115 East Sevier in downtown Benton. Smith Caldwell Drug is located in the heart of downtown Benton. We're an independently owned pharmacy that strives to give our patients the best quality and care possible. We offer free delivery service and convenient drive-through window. Our friendly staff will help you with your insurance billing needs and much more. Be sure to shop our large boutique, gift section, and baby department, where you get free gift wrapping. Smith Caldwell Drug, in the heart of downtown Benton. One of the biggest factors in your child's learning experience, whether it's book work or athletics, is their vision. Doctors Glenn and Skinner and the skilled staff at Benton Eye Care Clinic are here to help you see a better world. And they want everyone to have access to quality eye care. For thorough, visual, and comprehensive eye exams, call our optometric physicians and staff at Benton Eye Care Clinic at 501-778-2020. For quality eye care close to home on Highway 5, next to the Long Hills entrance, Benton Eye Care Clinic.
Saline County is one of the fastest growing areas in the entire country. At Saline Memorial, we've been growing too. Our hospital is in the top 5% for patient safety nationwide. We've incorporated advanced technology, expanded services, and strategic partnerships that bring the state's best doctors right here. And we've done it all without losing the comfort of private rooms and personalized care. This is healthy growth, close to home. Saline Memorial.
Welcome back to the Palace. It is halftime of tonight's Maroon Gray inter-squad game. Gray leads at 14-7 at halftime. Big first half for DeAnthony Harper. 6 carries, 127 yards. Michael Lunsford, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 25 yards. Trevor Standridge had a big 53-yard touchdown for the Maroon. We've got our man on the sideline, Dio Vanucci, for the first time tonight. Dio, your impressions from field level?
Defense, defense, defense. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, good. So I'm excited about the defense because the cornerbacks, I mean, I saw 3 cornerback play from 3 or 4 different guys that's on a level that we haven't seen, really. I mean, these guys are good. And like you guys were talking about in the middle, that is a nasty middle with a D1 player like Kyvan Carroll. And then the supporting cast. I mean, this is the year of defense, and I really do think this is going to be one of those that we're going to look back. We're going to make a lot of comparisons to that 2014 defense that was so good that took us to the semifinals.
Man, that's a great point. The quarterbacks in that first half, Terry, a combined 5 for 17 passing, and it wasn't that the quarterbacks were off target. It was the cornerbacks on defense making some great plays.
And the safeties stepping up in the pocket, or stepping up in that zone and knocking some of those balls down. And they really did blanket those receivers.
So we begin the final 20 minutes of tonight's inter-squad scrimmage. Gray leads at 14-7, Maroon football, to open the second half as Morrow's pass going to be batted down. And who was that got a paw up on it? Was that 39? For the Gray, I believe it was Zach Feemster.
38.
Was that Feemster or Tyler Cochran?
I got to be honest with you, they're wearing the gray jerseys, and I have no idea.
Well, we've got both kids on the field, Cochran and Feemster, so we'll. It's so impossible in this booth up here to read the numbers on those anthracite jerseys that the Gray team is wearing, but we promise to all the fans out there online, we will have binoculars with us the next time we have anthracite jerseys.
Snap back to Morrow. He's being pressured from behind, sets his feet, throws, going to overthrow his receiver along the sideline. Incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down and 10. And again, really no receiver open to throw to, John, as the coverage, again, outstanding from the secondary.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm impressed with the defense as well. But let's not panic on this offense just yet.
No,
remember
sir.
that this defense sees these plays every day in practice.
Exactly.
You got a ton of defensive players that ran this offensive scheme in junior high, or they've converted to defense as juniors or seniors. So
Zach Wallace on the carry, and Zach was hit immediately in the backfield, able to carry Tyler Cochran a couple of yards, but it's going to force a Maroon punt, and the Gray defense. 3 outstanding plays to open the second half, Terry.
Yeah, Tyler Cochran really stepped into that hole and met Zach right in the backfield, was able to get him down. And, you know, previously, Trey DeBrava, that's a player I'm really not familiar with, and he made an excellent play. He's the one that kind of charged the middle there, and get to see some of these younger players step up that haven't seen a lot of field time, step up and make plays, and that's exciting.
We got Freddie standing down with Dio on the sideline. We haven't brought Freddie into the broadcast tonight. Dio, what's Freddie's impression?
Freddie, what's your impression of the game so far tonight?
They're looking all right. They're doing good.
What do you think they look? What do you think the Hogs are going to look like?
Well, maybe they'll do all. I think they're going to do okay. They're going to win in 3 games.
Good deal. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Dio. As Garrett Brown, the sophomore quarterback, swung it out to Amari Coates. We saw Amari in 8th grade, was gone last year, back for his 10th grade season. Amari, a 5'11", 160-pound sophomore, picks up 6 yards. It's 2nd down and 4 as Garrett Brown going to drop back. Good pass to Braxton Slaughter, and that'll be a first down for the Gray. And we mentioned Garrett Brown. He has had a great summer in 7-on-7, right on the money to Braxton Slaughter in the seam.
Well, that was a great run after contact, too.
Right, Peyton Hudgens out there at
they got him at wideout.
Getting some work in. We've got trips to the left here in a bunch formation.
Braden Murdoch, who had a big touchdown in the Saturday scrimmage out there, as they give it off to Coates, and Coates going to be hit and dropped by Adrian Vargas in the backfield. Loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down and 13. And guys, I want to tell you, as happy as we are, the #1 fan has got to be the happiest guy in Saline County tonight. He has been asking me on an every other day basis since February, how much longer till football season?
It just feels good. It feels like home up here. I tell you, it's good to have this thing kicked off.
Brown rolls to the left and going to throw a little bit beyond Zach Cloud, his receiver. But, John, he was being pressured.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, big number 94, Hayden Purdy. He's a sophomore. He's got a cast on his hand. Not sure what that's about. I'll find out. But listen, this guy is a ball player. You know, he's a linebacker. He got to high school. They looked at him and said, he's so tall, he's so long-reached, and he's very athletic. We've got to put him at end. And I tell you what, this is a kid you're going to see a lot of good things out of over the next 3 years.
6'2", 235 pounds, led the junior high in tackles last year. Is the throw to Peyton Hudgens, and Hudgens trying to outrun laterally the Maroon defense, unable to do so. That's a good tackle by Wyatt Howard in the open field to drop Hudgens at the 38-yard line. Boy, you see the weapon Hudgens can be as a receiver as well right there. We saw him catch a touchdown in the state playoffs at West Memphis.
Yeah, we got a flag down on the field.
Yeah, there was a block over there. It was absolutely vicious. I don't know that that's what the penalty's going to be, but
illegal use of hands.
Okay.
Back to Gray up to the 49-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and 20 following the penalty assessed against the Gray. But Garrett Brown really poised in setting up that screen to Peyton Hudgens.
Absolutely.
Another one of the Fox Ridge Trail kids?
Yes. Drive, yeah.
Fox Ridge Drive. There we go. Here we go again to Peyton Hudgens. Breaks a tackle. Peyton coming to the near side. Peyton at the 30 lowers his shoulder, and Peyton Hudgens is going to have the first down near the 25-yard line. Cade Smith on the tackle for the Maroon.
Looks like you got a little injury on Hudgens too on that left arm. Rolled kind of awkward across it.
TJ White, the trainer, immediately there to check out Peyton Hudgens, and it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Grays. Gavin Wells checks in and replaces Hudgens at slot receiver. An empty gun for the Gray as Brown looks one way, comes back the other to DeAnthony Harper, and D-Buddy's going to score, and the Grays going to go up 2 scores at 20-7. And what a scrimmage for DeAnthony Harper. What a pass from Garrett Brown.
Yeah, and almost the same play as the last touchdown. A little different side of the field, but right there in the slot, and just a little dump over the middle, right in that slot, or I should say the seam, and he's wide open.
I'll tell you, Garrett Brown, he doesn't look like a sophomore.
No, he just impresses constantly, and I'll tell you what, I'm a little concerned about this Hudgens situation, because he looked pretty disgusted as he was holding that arm. He's had a collarbone injury in the past. And, well, you just hope that's not anything like what we're dealing with here. So we'll hope for the best.
See Brad Harris going back to the training tent.
And while we're talking about hoping for the best, John, we got to visit with Grayson Morrow a bit ago.
Yes.
I think back to his senior year and a 78-yard touchdown in the Salt Bowl.
Yeah, he was the MVP of the Salt Bowl.
Against the Bryan Hornets. Grayson with some major surgery last week, and he's here tonight cheering on his little brother and all the Panthers. It was so good to see Grayson.
It really was.
Out here tonight at the Palace. It's first down and 10 for the Maroon. As Grayson's little brother Colin hands it off to Kyrie Watkins, and Kyrie rumbles for 9 yards up to the 39.
That's a big guy to try to stop up that middle.
He's got a lot of power.
Get a head of steam up. I wouldn't want to get in front of him. Second down and 1. Colin going to hand it off again to Kyrie. Look at the move to bounce that one outside. Going to take 4 Grays to tackle him down at the 47-yard line, and maybe a secret weapon emerging for the Benton offense, and Kyrie Watkins, another super sophomore for Benton.
John, when you can get 255 pounds to shift like that and then be able to get downhill, that's exciting.
It also helps when you have Joshua George in the middle that pushes his guy 15 yards to the side.
Give it to Kyrie again. It's the Kyrie series. Get Kyrie. Carry the pile down to the 42-yard line. He was hit at the 46, 4 yards after contact, running between the tackles.
I'm going to tell you what, if you watch this offensive line, it's amazing because Jensen White's got his guy 10 yards down the field. Joshua George has got his guy 10 yards the other way down. It's like the Red Sea just parts with that big offensive line in there.
Now they're going to play action, go deep, looking downfield, coming back for the football and almost making a leaping catch was Tim Kellum, the sophomore, but it does fall incomplete, and it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Maroon.
Talking about this O-line, what did you think of that wall? I think Morrow could have took 15 seconds to throw that football.
Great protection.
Yeah, they had it walled off, and he had all the time in the world. One coverage. It was just good defense.
So 3rd down and 5 for the Maroon. Ball at the Gray 42-yard line. Colin Morrow going to hand it off to Kyrie Watkins, and Kyrie that time is going to get down to the 40-yard line. Again, it takes multiple Gray Panthers to bring Kyrie down. One guy's just not going to do the job on that big sophomore.
Yeah, Brian Arejo, Justin Walker.
Justin Walker, winner of the Freddie Reinhardt Award for junior high last year. Playing a good defensive end spot for the Gray here in the second half. 4th down and 3, and the Maroon's going to go for it as they give it off to Kyrie, and Kyrie has the first down to the 33-yard line. Boy, I just love how strong he runs, Terry.
John, when you can line up 4th and 4 and you just say,
you know you're going to get it.
I'm going to come right down your throat.
You know,
I mean, that's exciting, guys. That's exciting football.
A coach that kind of helped mentor me in a lot of ways once told me that sometimes you just got to get macho.
Yeah.
1st down and 10 for the Maroon at the Gray 33 as Morrow fakes to Watkins, going deep again for Tim Kellum, and Kellum can't make a diving catch at the goal line. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, I like the fact that he's not making dumb decisions with the football, right? He's not underthrowing the ball. He's making good decisions, and he's got good protection. So even though they're not completing passes, it's still early in the year. They're fine-tuning things, but you got to like what you see out there, Terry.
Yeah, I certainly like the fact that you've got the ability to stretch the field and get that deep ball down there, because that's going to help the running game immensely.
2nd down and 10, fake to Watkins, throw, and there's Kellum on the catch, and it's going to be a 1st down for the Maroon to the 18-yard line. Colin and Tim Kellum been trying to hook up, finally do, 3rd time's a charm, and it results in a 1st down for the Maroon.
Guys, I'm excited to see a sophomore wide receiver.
And listen, when you can stretch the field like that with those deep guys, it opens up the middle of the field for a lot of good things to happen, and you saw that. Justin Ray was setting that up from the get-go.
Morrow fakes again to Watkins, drops back, now rolls to the left, going to
really,
throw off his back foot and throws it away. Wisely as Terry Benham claps for the choice Colin Morrow made.
Really, really smart choice by the quarterback. He looked to make the throw. He saw it wasn't there, didn't force it. looked for his second and his third receivers. Nobody was open. Got it down the field.
Kept his cool, stretched it out.
That's
and,
what you want.
Instead of trying to take off and make something or force a throw, look, throw it out of bounds, live to fight another day. It's 2nd and 10. We're good to go.
Garrett Body and Michael Allison check back in on that Maroon offense in the red zone. They're going to get it to Body, and Body let that one slip through his hands incomplete.
That's the
I
one
think
thing.
he tried to run before he caught that one, Terry.
Sure enough, and that's the one thing that I've seen tonight that's got to get corrected is the drop balls, because that was a touchdown if he catches it.
You bet. Well, Trevor Standridge had a good block on the outside. They had it walled off. I think he could see, usually you say he could see green, he could see maroon.
Yeah,
in the
he
end
could
zone.
walk into the end zone.
No question. It was an easy touchdown for him if they connect.
3rd down and 10, Maroon. As the Gray shows pressure, Colin Morrow rolls out of it now. We've got a whistle. A false start coming up against the Maroon will make it 3rd down and 15 with 6:15 to go in the second half. Gray leading 21-7.
Yeah, back to that previous play, that's another exciting thing, John, is when you can get your other receivers out and they can seal on both sides and provide that alley. That's exciting to see your wide receivers getting down there and making that block.
Gavin Davis, the H-back. Kyrie Watkins, the tailback, is the throw to Body, and that time he catches it and scores on the post route. It's a 23-yard connection. Colin Morrow to Garrett Body. And boy, you saw the electricity that time as he makes the catch, Terry, in stride, and takes it to the end zone.
Well, welcome to Benton, Arkansas, Garrett Body.
Yeah, no question.
So the Maroon has cut the lead to 21-13. Going for the extra point is Kareem Hernandez. Kick is good. 21-14. Gray leads it with 5 minutes to go. Let's go back down to the sideline to Dio.
Hey, guys. Well, 2 injury updates. Hayden Purdy, that's a broken hand, John, so that'll answer that question. And obviously they can't diagnose what's going on with Peyton Hudgens without probably x-rays or what have you, but it is the same area of the last year's left collarbone. It's either that or an AC joint, it looks like, but doesn't look good for him, which hate to hear that. It just seems like he's bit by that injury bug at the beginning of each year. Hate it for him because he's such a good kid, such a good athlete. Hope it's nothing, to be honest, but doesn't look good.
Man, let's hope. It was the benefit scrimmage last year. It's the Maroon Gray game this year. Best wishes for Peyton Hudgens as John Miller with the catch for the Gray. He's going to have first down yardage to the 43-yard line. Skylar Upton in on the tackle for the Maroon is Garrett Brown. Another strike. Brown, impressive throwing half here for the Gray, who leads at 21-14. So first down and 10 for the Gray at the 43. Brown again dropping back, looking downfield, throwing on the wheel route to Gavin Wells. Look at Gavin make men miss. Gavin at the 20 runs away from the Maroon defense, and Gavin scores. Wow. How about Gavin Wells? 57-yard touchdown.
He had been quiet all night,
and when he woke up,
yeah, it was something else.
Man, there were so many good things about that play. The wall of the offensive line, the beautiful pass right down the sidelines on full stride, the move off of the catch back to the center of the field, and then the speed that it took to split the defenders and get to the end zone.
It was just well executed.
You could see right there why Gavin Wells at the 7-on-7 at UAM this summer got a scholarship offer before his junior year from the UAM coaching staff. They saw what we just saw in that ability. How about Garrett Brown, 7 for 8 passing for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns here in the second half for the Gray.
Yeah, he's going to be a special player. And, coming in as a sophomore, even in the spring, I mean, he's still down at the freshman academy down the street, and he was poised. And we were really impressed with him in spring, and he's not let us down all summer long.
Colin Morrow throws Michael Allison on the catch, and Allison's going to be over midfield into great territory. And now the offenses seem to be finding rhythm on both sides, as it's a 21-yard gain and a first down Maroon.
Well, this is a good moment for Colin Morrow, because now he's down 2 scores. There's 2 minutes left, a little 2-minute offense to get back from behind. Let's see what he does.
First down and 10 Maroon at the 49. Morrow looking deep for Body.
Nice.
Body's got separation. Body's got a touchdown.
Yeah.
There's that deep ball threat, the vertical to Garrett Body, and it's a 49-yard touchdown. And the Maroon answers in just 2 plays, John.
Yeah, and that's huge right there. You saw a beautiful pass from Colin Morrow, and that's why you've seen so many passes a little bit beyond the receivers. Those receivers have been checked. Morrow knows what he's doing. He knows where he's putting the football. His receivers haven't been able to get there because they've been pressed. But I tell you what, that pass was on the money. Garrett Body never lost stride. Nice throw and catch.
Jose Simone on the extra point. Body saw Michael Lunsford catch 2 touchdowns in the first half. And Garrett Body says, hey, I'll join you with 2 touchdowns here, Terry, in the second half.
Well, you know, we were talking Wednesday, and I said, you know, Colin, when he's on, he's really, really on. And that was one of those passes. And Tuesday night, he hit one that the Dallas Cowboys couldn't have covered. I mean, he put it in the corner of the end zone, right on the money in the receiver's hands. And boy, it's exciting to see passes like that.
First down and 10 Gray as the clock stopped with 1:48 to go as Garrett Brown throws that one. A chance to be intercepted across the way as Corey Morgan almost came up with the interception. A little miscommunication that time for the Gray offensively. Second down and 10.
They all have a little of that sophomore-itis in them, regardless of whose fault that was. It's always there, but you know, when you watch Morrow in practice, he doesn't just wow you. But when you put him in a game situation, he shows up to play like it's incredible.
Michael Lunsford catches it in stride. A penalty marker comes down. Believe we're going to get a defensive pass interference, but boy, Garrett Brown laid that one up, and Michael Lunsford runs under it. The catch is made down at the 37-yard line. And a pass interference against the defense going to be refused, and it'll be first down and 10 Gray.
We're seeing some good passing and catching going on here from a lot of different people.
Pass interference against Maroon, penalties declined, first down Gray.
Great game tonight for the senior, Michael Lunsford. 2 touchdowns, a big 33-yard catch. It's first and 10 Gray at the Maroon 37-yard line. Amari Coates in the backfield. Garrett Brown repositions him to his right side. A low snap and a whistle blows the play dead. flag comes out, and we'll get a false start against the Gray.
You know, if you're Justin Ray and you're building this offense, you're prepping this offense every week. You know, you've got Zach Wallace and D. Buddy, which you need 2 running backs. But when you look at the depth at receiver, I don't know how in the world, you know, you got to get all of these guys snaps or they're not going to be happy, Jim.
Brown that time pressured, and he is going to be sacked back at the 48-yard line, and that was Hayden Purdy applying the pressure. Mark Brand also in there as well for the Maroon defense. And Hayden Purdy, when he's going to get opportunities to play that in, John, he's going to be a force.
I can't help but think when I see him of Garrett Taylor. Y'all remember Garrett's senior year? He played almost the entire season with the big club and had a great year.
I believe we nicknamed him the Billy Club defense. Wow. There goes Amari Coates, and he's trying to put the Billy Club on the Maroon, and he does as he scores from 47 yards out. And that gives the Gray a 2-score lead again at 34-21.
Hey, I know you guys have, but I haven't seen him play a whole lot.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, that was another gear when he hit the sidelines.
You remember
that was impressive.
The block that we saw earlier, that was him. That was Coates. Yeah, it hurt my jaw up here in the booth when I saw that block earlier. He's going to be a special player as well.
Brian Araujo boots through the extra point. Good strong leg from Araujo. And Terry, you tell me, he is an outstanding goalie for the Benton Soccer.
Man, he really is. He made the high school team as a freshman and wound up working himself into the number 2 goalie position, and he is a shutdown goalie.
So 35-21, Gray leads at 51 seconds to go in tonight's scrimmage. Again, we'll remind you, next Friday night, we will have live streaming of Benton at Little Rock Christian in the AAA benefit scrimmage. Game will also be broadcast live on Fidelity Channel 406 locally. And if you can't make it up to Little Rock Christian, join us for Benton Panther football at BentonPantherFootball.com, the online home of Benton Panther football. It's Colin Morrow going deep for Michael Allison, and boy, just off his fingertips at the 30-yard line. Allison almost with a great catch.
I predict that's the last pass that even touches his fingertips he doesn't come down with this year, because he is an amazing, amazing receiver. And I tell you what, Morrow's got confidence in him. And I think Allison may have misjudged that just a little bit, because I think he wishes he would have really laid out for that.
Yeah,
that kid can catch anything now.
Amazing receiver, amazing young man. Always love visiting with Michael Allison.
Absolutely.
Colin Morrow rolling to his left. Now throws.
Oh, what a
Kyrie
pass.
Watkins unable to pull it in. Terry, it was a great pass, and Kyrie just couldn't pull it in.
What a pass. Now, I'll tell you this, Morrow struggled a little bit in the first half on some accuracy issues and all that. He's playing football right now.
He's dialed in.
He got rushed from both corners, stepped up in the pocket, eluded the rush, and then made a bullet dart.
Yeah, I think he's okay. I think he's just got a ding.
Garrett Brown is going to check in and quarterback the Maroon team.
Maybe a cramp.
In the gray jersey, as we are in the final 38 seconds of tonight's scrimmage. It's a snap back to Brown. He rolls to his right. Now we've got a whistle.
There's a flag on the
It's going to
play.
play dead, and it'll back the Maroon up 5 yards.
Yeah, you've probably seen the last of Morrow tonight.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good
Ball
call.
started against Maroon, 5-yard
As I was coming to the
penalty,
stadium,
15.
Jim, the programs are out. The programs are out with all the pictures, all the spirit squads, the senior pictures and all. Some of the cheer moms were over by the gate selling those. So if you didn't get to come to the stadium tonight and pick one up, don't forget at the Salt Bowl, $5 official 2018 programs. Have a feeling you may be wanting one of those toward the end of the season.
There you go, souvenir for posterity's sake. As Garrett Brown in gray is going to be tackled by one of his gray teammates, I believe, in on the sack, Justin Walker for the gray.
Called his name a couple times.
Line. Yeah, and had a great year last year. Offensive lineman, defensive end for that junior high team.
How many good-looking defensive ends do we have right now? There's like 8 of them.
Yeah.
And they're staggered. They're all in different grades. I mean, that's the good news.
Looks like Brad Harris is going to gather his team up. And the scrimmage is going to end right there with the gray leading at 35-21. We will step aside for a quick break, and then we'll come back. Dio will try to grab Brad Harris and have a visit with him. We'll conclude tonight's broadcast. Thanks for joining us. Stay with us after this break for Benton Panther football on Fidelity Local 6.
Any lasting structure begins with a good blueprint, and every good blueprint must be designed specifically for the people it serves. The Benton Event Center, Riverside Park, and the new Boys and Girls Club, all designed by the professional architects at Black, Corley, Owens, and Hughes. They understand the Benton community and are a major part of our economic success. Proud sponsors of Benton Panther football and valued partners for our community.
Hey, Panther fans, looking for a local dentist that cares? Look no further than Bethel Smiles. Benton native and Panther alum Dr. Justin Bethel and his staff are pleased to be back serving the community where it all began. Bethel Smiles is a full-service dental office treating all ages and proudly offers the lowest cost braces in town. We realize at Bethel Smiles that your time and your teeth are precious, so most procedures can be performed the same day. So save time, save teeth, support local business, and schedule with Bethel Smiles today. Call to schedule your appointment at 501-778-4746. Bethel Smiles is a proud supporter of Benton Athletics.
Jones Heating and Air, located at 520 Edison Avenue in Benton, specializes in residential, commercial, and new construction HVAC systems and offers 24-hour service. Jones is a proud supporter of Benton Panther Athletics, the Saline County Boys and Girls Club, and youth sports at Benton's Riverside Park. Find out more at jonesheatingandair.com or call 501-778-3324.
All right, welcome back to the Palace. It's been a fun night of Benton Panther football as the Maroon Gray scrimmage has concluded with the Gray winning 35-21 tonight over the Maroon. We go down to the field as Dio has Brad Harris.
That's a defensive end doing a backflip over here, John, like you were just talking about.
Yeah.
So, Coach, I mean, Maroon Gray, you're scrimmaging against yourself, but I know you put in some different packages. You wanted to get a look at some different things. Did you see what were you looking for, and did you see it?
Well, we got to see a lot of different combinations play tonight. You know, we've looked better in practice because you see more of the ones versus ones, and they're working together. So you saw some young guys playing with some of the old guys on the offensive line. And that's hard to build that chemistry that you really like to see. But I was proud to see some things. I thought DeAnthony Harper ran the ball extremely well tonight. You know, we know Zach's going to get it going and everything. He's downhill. We kind of got a little bit of a hole, worked on some different things with Colin on that team. So I thought Colin did some really good things for us offensively on that team. You know, offensive line-wise, when we put the five together, I think we're going to be really good. I was proud to see James Darling working the edge a little bit tonight. So, you know, from an offensive standpoint, was pretty pleased to put up 35 points. And then defensively, had some big plays at times. You know, I thought Calvin Carroll was pretty aggressive tonight and did a good job of working the middle, and that's what we got to have him doing in there. You got to see Devin Griffin, you know, make a heck of a play. Kelby Caffrey made a couple plays on balls, you know. So we're excited about that secondary like I talked about. Got to get Cameron Ross coming on, okay? Cam's going to be a big factor to how well we do defensively, and we get him playing well all the time. We're going to be in great shape defensively.
Well, that's the last time you really have to play somebody that's yourself. Now, next week we get to go play a benefit game, Little Rock Christian. I know you guys saw them at team camp. What are you looking to see out of your team next week?
You know, everybody looks for improvement from 1 week to the next, and we got 1 week exactly until we see somebody else, and it's going to be good for us to put all of our guys and to go against somebody else. We saw Little Rock Christian at team camp, like you mentioned, really athletic bunch. Skilled guys are really good. Linemen not quite as talented, a little bit more undersized, but they get after you real well. So we're going to have our hands full over there next Friday night, but I'm excited to see what we do when we put all of our guys together and everything. So, you know, we're 2 weeks away from the big one, and next week's going to be a big jump for us. You know.
Good deal. Well, we're looking forward to it, Coach.
Right.
Good job tonight. We'll see you next week. All right, guys, back to you.
Well, Dio, before you go, what about your final thoughts tonight on what you saw down there at field level?
Well, I mean, from field level, I saw what I thought I would see. I saw defenders playing really well in space. Cornerbacks played really well. Like Coach said, the middle. I was interested to see what Kyvan was going to do because, you know, he moved from defensive end as a sophomore at a different school, came here, played outside linebacker, and then just when he was getting used to that, we shove him at the Mike position. But really, he seemed to perform really well. So I am looking forward to seeing all the ones together on defense and seeing what they can do against a really talented team next week.
And a lot to be excited about as the offseason progressed and built. And, Terry, I don't think we saw anything tonight to diminish that enthusiasm.
No, actually, I was impressed with the depth. I thought the depth and players being able to step up and make plays, I got a little bit more than I expected, to be quite honest. And so when you get all of the ones playing together, I think that they're going to be a really special team this year.
And when you think about it, John, we're seeing this inter-squad game a week earlier than we typically do, which means a week less of practice together as a squad. I thought the team played remarkably well. You didn't see a lot of penalties. You didn't see a lot of bad snaps. There seemed to be just a real good flow to both offense and defense.
Yeah, it's usually a little sloppy, and it's usually just a little bit better than the spring game. And we generally come away saying, well, we've got a hole here and a hole there, but that's not really the situation that we have this year. I think we're a pretty solid football team, top to bottom. Again, injuries. Well, you hope that doesn't become a story again. And I'm a little shook up watching Hudgens go off the field on the cart.
Yep.
That young man has been through enough in his lifetime, and our thoughts and prayers with him and Shane and Laura and their family right now. And so I hope that situation's okay. But, irregardless, it's a part of the game. And so we got to get ready for Little Rock Christian now. And but at least for tonight, maybe we can dwell on it for a little while.
Absolutely. So, Terry, Coach Harris mentioned DeAnthony Harper. Really impressed with him running the ball tonight.
Yeah, really impressive night. And a lot because of the play of the offensive line. That's a really good defense they're going up against, and they put 35 points on it.
You bet.
And, one of the things that we had talked about is whether or not the offense could go out there and get their mind right and execute. And if they did, there's very few people or very few teams I think that we're going to face that's going to pose a defensive challenge to them. But tonight they were playing against a really good defense, and they still put 35 on the board. And if y'all remember from last year, when the Panthers score 28, we win.
Every time, except the softball.
There are exceptions.
There's only the one exception.
The one exception every time.
There are exceptions.
So, John, maybe what stood out to you most tonight?
Listen, one thing I really liked seeing was that deep ball from Colin Morrow and the fact that it was accurate. I also saw him make some throws over the middle that were very hard throws. The one that bounced off of Kyrie, I mean, he didn't drop that ball. That bounced off his pads. It had a lot of pepper on it. Morrow's a very good pitcher for the baseball team. We need to remember that. And coming out of that injury, he's ready to play some ball. I saw him make good decisions. I saw him throw the deep ball accurately. I saw him throw the mid ball accurately. Not a lot of short stuff tonight. Not a lot of screens and all. They'll add that in later. But I like what I saw from Morrow tonight, and I was very impressed with Garrett Brown. So, I think quarterback is very important at this level, and I like what we saw out of him tonight.
Good deal. Terry, your biggest takeaway?
Well, the biggest takeaway is that the defensive backfield is what it's been sold to us as. And those guys can really play. And, yeah, they had them broken up. But there were guys that were still in position, and that's, as you guys all know, that's the whole key to being in the defensive background is being in position and then having the talent to use that position to get to where the ball is. And I just thought our defensive backfield played very well, and I'm excited to watch them as we go forward.
Saw Terry Jones have a good night. Saw Devin Griffin make a great break on a ball to get an interception early in the game. Terry
Cameron
Jones
Ross
with a good
a break up.
Yeah, break up, bat away. So it is exciting to think about that secondary, John.
Yeah, and we've seen some guys move around. Kyvan's in a different spot. Cameron's in a different spot. You got Cade Clark and
Braden
Hendricks over on the defensive side of the ball. So a lot of kids have moved around, but I thought they all looked very good, especially those seniors that have moved. I thought Zach Parker had a good ball game tonight when he was in there.
Yeah,
and to reiterate what Dio said about the defensive secondary, he said, I've seen like 4 or 5 guys do really well. I couldn't tell the ones from the twos tonight.
Yeah,
it didn't stick out to you at any part of anywhere on the field. So I think we've got a lot of depth, and I think we got a season that we're all going to really enjoy.
It's going to be a fun one, and I want to tip my hat, too, to a real good guy, John. You mentioned how he bailed Abby out when her car broke down. Michael Lunsford with a 2-touchdown night tonight in his senior maroon gray. Good job, Micah. We've had a ball bringing it to you. We're going to have another one for you next Friday night right here at BentonPantherFootball.com, as well as on Fidelity HD 406 locally as well. Benton will be at Little Rock Christian for the AAA benefit scrimmage, and Terry Benham, John Penn, Dio Vanucci, and the #1 fan of the Benton Panthers, Freddie Reinhardt, We'll all be there. I'm Jim Gardner for Matt Johnson and our state championship crew. Thanks for joining us tonight for this edition of Benton Panther football on Fidelity Local 6. Till next time, good night, God bless, and go Benton.